can you tell us about your character coming up this season on Sons of Anarchy?
I can't tell you anything. I can't give anything away. I took the lead, Jax's baby, last year. Ran off, got away in a boat with it, and I end up with the baby somewhere, so that's all I'm going to say.
Kristen, what's coming up for Irma this season?
She causes chaos.
Can you elaborate?
Not really. She's gone after Jax, and she doesn't give up till she gets what she wants. So we'll see what happens.
Well, at the end of season 2, my perspective is Gemma got some retribution for what she was really angsting about, and I think she felt satisfied for a brief moment till she found herself alone without her family, who she loved so much. So with with my character, we'll sort of she reconnects with her father, and we'll sort of find out more about her history. And what's going on in Charming is, it's just up in arms. The baby's gone.
What's coming up for your characters this season?
Murder and mayhem. Kicking ass. Yeah, about the same. Murder and mayhem.
Tig has issues. Tig always has issues, but this year he really sorts a lot of them out, which is really, really fun for me. Season 2, he was lost. The killing of Donna and the happenstance of that accident was very overwhelming for him. This year, he gets his mojo back, man. He gets his mojo back big time.
Lila, she's kind of a tough girl herself, or at least she wants to appear to be, and I think she's drawn to a sort of masculine, tough man who can take care of her. But really, Opie, the Opie character is a very deep, sweet person, and I think that Lila also, she comes off as sort of a tough girl with a hard past, but she really is also just this sweet, gentle girl, and the two of them, are both looking for love, and I think they're drawn to each other because they both have this sort of almost sweet sadness, I would say.
Is your character aware that his mom is on the lam for murder?
I become aware of it, and which spurs on a long and tumultuous piece of our relationship where I think she should be doing one thing and she is absolutely adamant to be doing something else.
Yes, Mom has a murder rap, but they'll take care of that. Right, honey?
Well, we're trying.
For what's coming up for Clay in season 3?
He's trying to find his grandson.
We all end up in Ireland, and the whole crew comes over, and the malarkey starts in Belfast.
A little bit of ass kicking.
Yeah.
And through that, we got to explore a little bit of the international nature of these motorcycle clubs, because that's the fascinating thing about these things. They're huge international entities. I think a lot of people think that they just reside, in America, but that's not the case at all.
I've become an admirer to their aspirations. Certainly, I never knew enough about the MC world to know them as anything but thrill seekers, but there's a great deal about them that we've all unearthed in the research we've done about why they've chosen to create an alternate society for themselves, and how specific their codes are of honor, loyalty, self-sacrifice, etc.
We delve into a little bit of the history of the club, and that the relationship with the IRA was a big part of the formation of at least the gun running business, and we dive into that this season, and we learn about a little bit more about John Teller, Jax's father, and the relationship he had with the club, and we set up a lot of the mythology.
We find ourselves up against the IRA a little bit, which is not a position anybody ever wants to find themselves in, on the bad side of the IRA. And we also, through that, get to explore, Sons of Anarchy in a vulnerable situation, because as badass as these guys are, they ain't nothing compared to the IRA. So, we get to see them a little bit vulnerable and a little bit, outgunned, which I think will be interesting.
Now, did you guys shoot on location?
We shot in North Hollywood, around the corner from the studio, but they did a lot of...
via Laurel Canyon.
Yeah, exactly.
He's not an actual father, but do you think he's becoming one?
Well, I think he sort of has a fatherly way about him, and I think that he is to the manner born, when it comes to the relationship he has with his stepson is quite fatherly. The relationship he hopefully will have with his grandson will be almost as if it's his own flesh and blood.
Second season's just hit on DVD. Do you have any favorite moments from your arc in that season?
When I have my argument with Tara, I think that was definitely a lot of fun to film. So, yeah.
The last episode's the best, in my opinion. It's just all the excitement and the tragedy, and Abel being kidnapped, and that last scene where they're on the dock. It's unbelievably moving. So I would say that's probably my favorite.
Making love with the entire charter. That was great. What about you?
I think sex in a rest stop bathroom with Jibs is kind of what I'll take with me.
Hers is real. Mine is fantasy.
The scene in the kitchen where I killed Half Sack and took the baby, and with Maggie there, that was one of the most incredible scenes I've shot in my career yet. And it was really intense. And Kurt Sutter was directing, created the series, so that added an element to it. And it was pretty intense.
My interpretation of was he was kind of trying to replace a son with a son.
Yeah, Cameron definitely was trying to replace his son, but I don't think he really thought it out. It was just sort of, he was in a lot of emotional turmoil, and there was a kid, so he took him. Originally, I was going to kill him. Thought twice of it, took the kid, and then I just ran.
I mean, we begin with the stakes pretty high, with the baby being gone and Gemma on the lam, and really that's sort of the driving narrative engine this year is the pursuit of the child, and that'll take us through at least the first half of the season.
I love bikers. I love the family feel of that brotherhood. I just love the whole thing. I mean, I'm learning how to ride. My father's been riding his whole life, so it's just something that I've always been attracted to, and I think they're amazing people. It's an amazing group of guys to work with. So
It's all hands on deck. It's all about getting the grandson back, and so whatever differences had been explored in season 2, and there were a great many, are all kind of temporarily shelved. We'll see whether they reemerge. I'm sure they will once we get some stability back.
I got to tell you, man, you're going to love it. It's just so, Kurt Sutter again switches it up again. Just when you think that you know what's going on, you really don't. Obviously, Charlie's got to, try and get his boy back. That's paramount. But Katie has issues. She's booked for murder, and Charming's changing. The entire climate is changing. So there's so many things going on in a 13-show season. It's just action-packed and dark and yet still full of love somehow,